2 videos in one day. There's just so much to talk about. So many things I just want to just talk about. But before I begin this video, I want to show you this clip that I feel like perfectly embodies. Oh, wait. There's my voice. I forgot I put the speakers on for this. All right, back to what I was saying. Before I continue this video, I want to show you this clip from RDC World 1 that I feel like perfectly embodies the spirit of the Cavs locker room currently. Okay, let's just go ahead and make sure this is. I won't be able to tell if it's. Hold on, maybe if I could just play this. Hold on. If I play this, it'll probably tell me if it's recording that or not. So hold on, let me just look at this real quick. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's gonna. Well, I gotta make sure it's in the right format. So let me just make sure that it's right there. Wait. There we go. All right, this is LeBron after the game.
Boy, not too loud. 0 points. You sorry. What are you doing? You gotta move. If we don't got you, I'm gonna kill your ass. Sorry. Shepard. How you at the side of the backboard? Nobody was guarding you. You gotta move. If I look at the others, I'm gonna drop y'all. Now get ready to move. Cover. 2 fouls. You want them at the 3. Hit the 3. I'm not gonna lose because of y'all. LeBron on 3. Hurry. 1, 2, 3. LeBron.
I love watching that clip. I watch it a lot, actually, because I feel like that's exactly LeBron now. Whenever he sees his team, he's just always mad at them. Like, y'all are sorry. And, oh, my God. The performance tonight against the Rockets, that's the second sorriest performance I've ever seen from them. I might even say it's the sorriest performance I've seen from them. In fact, you know what? Scratch that. This is the sorriest performance I've ever seen them give this year. I mean, it got so bad, their own fans were booing them. Their own fans were booing them. That's how sorry this team is. And I'm saying this right now. I don't care if people are going to hate me for saying this or saying that I'm just jumping to conclusions you don't know yet or blah, those excuses like, oh, LeBron's been here before, but he always makes the finals, Tony. He turns on the switch when the playoffs starts. They're going to be really on their game when the playoffs starts. They're not making the finals. I'm telling you that right now. And I have evidence to back my claim. What evidence is that? Let us see what their performances were like in the past month with the 6 biggest, or not the 6 biggest, but the 6 best teams of the league. Actually, let me look at the standings real quick. So at least now I can say appropriately who are the top 6 best teams. And I'm also including the Cavs in the top 6, by the way. So hold on. My NBA app is loading. I want to just see the standings right now. I will say, though, I'm a little upset. My Golden State Warriors, they lost tonight. That was upsetting. Okay, so the top 3 teams in the East are Boston, Toronto, Cleveland. And the top 3 teams in the West is Golden State, Houston, and San Antonio. Okay, but I'm also going to throw in Oklahoma City into this. So in the last month and a half, when playing the best, like the top 10 best teams, top 5 teams from both coasts, here is their record. I'm going to share this screen with you so you can see it. All right. Starting all the way back here in December, we'll start with the Warriors in the Christmas game. 99-92. Okay, that was a good effort. The next big team they played, Cleveland versus Celtics. 102-88, losing by almost 20 points. The next big team they played, Raptors versus the Cavs. 133-99. They didn't even reach 100. And by the way, keep in mind, a lot of the games that they played against these top teams, they barely cracked 100. And they lost by 20 plus points. They played against the Pacers. I'm going to throw them in because they do have like the fourth best record in the league in the East. But they lost by, okay, well, I guess that's not really that impressive. They lost by 2 points, but that's okay. Okay, the next one, Warriors versus the Cavs, lost by 10 points. This was, I thought, the most embarrassing game they had. Thunder versus the Cavs at home, 148-124. They scored 124 points, still lost by 24. Sorry, completely sorry. The next night, they played against the Spurs, 114-102, lost by 12 points. The Pistons, they lost to them. Oh, by the way, they played back-to-back, the Pistons. That's interesting. I did not notice that. Lost by 11 points to the Pistons after defeating them soundly the 2 nights before at their home. I guess they just switched places. And now tonight, Rockets versus Cavs, 120-88. I mean, come on. Those are like the top teams in both conferences, keep in mind. Losing by an average of 20 points or more. Like, that is sorry. Sorry. They didn't even try tonight. Excuse me. It was just embarrassing. And I was just reading Twitter all night long, or not, well, it's not night here, it's afternoon for me. But I was just reading Twitter, and I was laughing my ass off just seeing people talking about the Cavs getting owned by the Rockets. They point out the poor defense, the lack of engagement from the team. And I'm done hearing any sort of excuses for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm done. I always hear the LeBron defenders, both in the media and fans of theirs, oh, you know, it's not LeBron's fault. He put up a good effort. Oh, his team is old. Oh, they always have a slump during January. So it's, you know, this is just par for the course. They're going to flip the switch any moment. I don't see it. And if you're going to point out like teams that are like below them and those wins, I don't count those wins. I'm looking at the top teams, how they perform against these top teams. And I hear people saying, I don't know if they're actually, if the Celtics are going to actually make it to the finals or if the Raptors are going to make it to the finals. The thing that the Raptors and Boston have that Cleveland clearly doesn't, well, they have 2 things. One is youth. A lot of these guys are younger players. And then second and most importantly, they're hungry. They are hungry. For years, we've been hearing people in the media saying LeBron's the best player in the world. We can all agree LeBron's the best player in the world. LeBron's the best player in the world. LeBron's the best player. You don't think that's going to rub a lot of the players the wrong way? Hearing for the last 5 or 7 years how LeBron James is the best player. They're going to get sick and tired of that shit and put the pedal to the metal. And unlike Michael, LeBron has no response to that type of pressure. These Michael Jordan comparisons, they need to stop. LeBron James will never be like Michael. I think I heard I saw some post on Twitter where somebody was calling LeBron James out in comparison to Michael Jordan. And I believe someone was like, well, you know, if you put Michael on any other team besides the Bulls, he would be like Cleveland right now. Sorry, no. Look, Michael Jordan would never allow himself to be blown out. Even if his team is sorry, he will put the effort. LeBron James made 11 points tonight. 11. Name the last game you know where Michael was the lead in the prime of his career making 11 points. You can't. You'll never find that game. he was always engaged. Even when he knows that he's going to kick the team's ass, or maybe even if he loses, he always put his best foot forward. And that's one of many, not the only, one of many reasons why LeBron James will never surpass Michael Jordan. Because even if the game is like a tough hill to climb, Michael will climb it. He will try his damnedest to reach the mountaintop, even if he gets blown off the mountain. So yeah, I'm done with these Michael Jordan comparisons. He's not even close. Statistically, he may be the best player in the world, but stats do not tell the full story. Numbers, numbers, numbers. That's really all the only argument I ever hear from LeBron fans. They use the statistical arguments, but they don't use a lot of these eye tests. They don't use the accolades. They always go to, the only argument that Michael Jordan fans have for why he's the greatest is because he won 6 titles and never lost in the finals. That's not the only argument that we need to use. That's just that's like the biggest argument right now, because it's always about like the number of titles you win. But even for me, I don't really care much for the number of titles they win. I think it's about the accolades. It's about who put the best foot forward. And Michael always put the best foot forward. I can't say that LeBron James at this point in time in his career is putting his best foot forward. He looks so disengaged on the court. It looks like he doesn't even give a fuck. And considering his performance tonight, yeah, that's clear as day. The Cavs are not making the finals. I don't care what any of you say. I don't want to hear any excuses. Unless they put the pedal to the metal and really up their defense, they're not going to be able to switch it on during the playoffs and automatically start balling. This is a problem that persists now. And unlike last year, Toronto and Boston are coming, and their defenses are on point. The only reason that they blew them out last year is because their defense was sorry. And the Cavs use that to their advantage. They can't do that this year. Toronto is coming. They're sick and tired of hearing how LeBron is the greatest and the East is weak. You keep saying how much the East is weak. You don't think these players hear you talking? They're going to be like, we're so weak. Okay, well, watch this. And look at their performances now. If I had to choose who would make it in the final, I'm hoping Golden State and Boston. That would be a really fun game to watch. But even in the West, I'm a little concerned for the Golden State Warriors. Right now, they seem very checked out as well. And they lost by 8 points tonight. That was upsetting. I thought they were going to seal the deal there, but nope. They've just been disengaged. Not as badly as the Cavs, mind you, but I have to be honest. They looked very disengaged. I'm not even going to try to defend their effort tonight. They did well. They just didn't do great. And Denver saw their opportunity and took it. I commend them for their performance. They did well. But for me, I'm very concerned about Houston now. Houston seems like a big threat. I was gonna say OKC at first, like it was between OKC and Houston, but now that OKC has kind of hit like a rut and their offense is slowly being dismantled and their defense is not as good as I was expecting, I'm starting to think that they might not be ready mentally to take on the Warriors in a 7-game series. They could win maybe 1 or 2, but that's as far as they're going to get. Because the Golden State Warriors, as much as they've been coasting right now and they seem disengaged, when time comes, they're able to flip the switch and go into beast mode. And if all of them stay healthy, knock on wood, they're going to make it to the finals. I have no doubt in my mind that they will. But I'm just concerned for Houston, dude. They're blowing up right now. And whoever's going to make the argument that James Harden's not going to win MVP this year is out of their fucking mind. This is his year. He's been snubbed 3 years in a row. This will be the year, finally, that he'll win. There's no more Russell Westbrook and his historic triple-double season. There's not going to be any more unanimous MVP Curry. This is his year. And I'm laughing so hard. Remember earlier this year when people were saying that this was LeBron's greatest statistical year? This is the best year LeBron has had since blah, 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 blah. And look at his sorry ass now. I don't even want to hear him in the MVP conversation. His ass should be the bottom fifth, not even in the top 5. If I were to say who's in the top 5, Harden, excuse me, Harden, Durant. I'll give it to Westbrook because he is still doing phenomenally, just not as great. Harden, Durant, Westbrook, Kyrie Irving. I would say Giannis maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I give it to 5th, but it's between. I'll say between Giannis and Curry, although both of them have not been super well. I would say the top 3 is definitely Harden, Durant, Westbrook. Those 3, they're the top 3 so far. Because although Golden State's not playing well, Durant still puts up impressive numbers, and he keeps his team alive as best as he can. So, but Harden's the clear winner. There's no arguments here, none at all. I mean, you could also make an argument maybe for Chris Paul in that 5th spot too, because he's been playing quite impressively as well, and his performance tonight was fantastic. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say. LeBron, your team's sorry as shit, and you guys need to do something because it's getting embarrassing now. Embarrassing. So much so that I've been hearing a lot of people saying that they should not even televise their games anymore, and I'm this close to agreeing with them because if it's gonna be like this for the next 3 months, sorry ass performances, I'd rather not. I'd rather watch the Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets. I'd rather watch them. I'd rather watch Kemba Walker and Dwight Howard playing on TV than LeBron James and the sorry-ass Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, let's read some of these comments. I haven't read them at all. Let's see. How about Tim Duncan? Tim Duncan's out of the Chansey. What the hell are you doing watching my What the hell are you watching my show for? Yeah, I'm an Arizona resident my whole life. The oldest team to not have a national championship. It kind of sucks right now to be a Suns fan. Sorry, Dave. OKC is probably the most dangerous to the Warriors. OKC is one of the most physical teams in the league, and if Paul George and Carmelo happen to get hot, they're formidable to anyone. I do agree with that, Tim. I do. I'm not going to count them out just yet, but at the same time, as much as they're very physical, the Warriors are mentally ready. I just need to see them play OKC again, just to see whether if OKC beats them again, then I'm going to be super concerned because that shows to me that they're hungry and they're mentally and physically ready to take the Warriors down. But if the Warriors beat them and they beat them soundly, I'm going to give the edge to the Warriors because they have been there before and they're hungry. They're ready for it too. They'll be mentally ready. Thoughts on the Spurs, Tony? I've never really been a Spurs fan. I don't hate them, and they play fantastic basketball, but they just have never been an impressive team for me. And I know that's been the case for the longest of times, but they're okay. I'm far from a Cavs fan, but LeBron James is my favorite non-Suns player. And yes, I'm well aware the Suns are playing horribly this season. No need to tell me. It's okay, bro. It's okay. Okay. Let's see. And in the OKC game, LeBron played 38 minutes and some 38 minutes and some in the fourth quarter. If that doesn't indicate stat padding, I don't know what is. No, I agree. Let's see. Does Tony even see the comments? After I do my little soliloquy, my long-ass rant format, I start reading the comments. I think you should replace sorry with pitiful. Sorry makes it sound like they're apologizing for something. Well, the reason I'm saying that they're sorry is because I keep watching that RDC World 1 video, and whenever LeBron was like cussing out his team, he's like, "You sorry!" As in, it's the equivalent of pitiful. It's just it sounds funnier in a sense. And they really are sorry. So, yeah, there we go. There's a YouTube channel. What Tony played was a clip from one of their videos. Yep. Watch out for the beard in CP3. No, they are a threat. I'm not going to say that the Golden State Warriors are going to coast like last year. I must say, everyone who was riding off the idea of Kevin Durant joining the Warriors as being bad for the league, look at this season. This has been the most impressive basketball season I've ever seen. These teams are phenomenal. And it's not just one impressive team. There are like 5 of them. Boston, Houston, OKC, Golden State Warriors. I'm trying to think of other impressive teams. Okay, I said Boston, Houston, OKC, Golden State Warriors. Toronto's doing phenomenally as well. You know, these teams have really stepped their game up, and there is there's challenge happening right now. So I'm impressed. And this would never have happened. This season would not be as exciting if Durant decided to go to like Boston or the Wizards or the Knicks. The game has gotten more exciting. Can you deny that? No. It's more exciting. And now it's such a it's a close race for all these teams. Earlier in the year, it seemed like Golden State was the favorite to win, and I still think they are, but they have a more tougher road to the finals. And I think this might be the most spectacular run if they do make it to the finals, because they're gonna have to go through the Rockets, they're gonna have to go through OKC, and I think it's looking like they'll have to either go up against the Pelicans or Denver. So it's going to be really exciting. I honestly can't wait. Let's see. Are you going to talk about the grid girls from F1 being banned? I was actually going to make a video about that yesterday. I just decided not to do that. Tony, you're going to visit me over here with what money, Chansey? I'm broke as fuck. Ask your sister to pay for my plane trip and I'll go. So I don't follow basketball, but are you upset with LeBron because he's getting too much praise? No. I'm upset with his team, although I am sick and tired. I'm tired of hearing this whole thing of LeBron still the best player in the world. No. Kevin Durant's the best player in the world. At this point in time, Kevin Durant is the best basketball player in the world, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about, oh, well, he went to Golden State Warriors. It's just his team is playing better than LeBron's. That's why you're saying he's the better team. No, he is clearly the best player on his team currently. Tonight in their loss, he scored 30 points. And he's been consistently scoring 20s and 30s since the start of the season. He's the best player in the world right now. Anybody who's arguing that, I want to see some proof why LeBron is still the best player in the world. He scored 11 points tonight. 11. If he's the greatest player in the world, he should be putting the best foot forward. He should have scored at least 25. He's able to do that. He completely checked out tonight. So I don't want to hear this whole LeBron is still the best player in the world. I disagree. Yeah, it is a bold statement, but it's true. Prove me wrong that Durant did not take the title of best player in the world from LeBron James. Because another thing I hear a lot too is that Kevin Durant can't be the best player in the world because he went to a 73-win team. I'm sorry, but when LeBron formed the Miami Heat, was he still not the best player in the league? Huh? If that's the case, then your argument fails. Because LeBron went to a super team, yet you still considered him the best player in the world. But when Durant goes to a super team and you say that he can't be the best player in the world because he's part of the super team, do you see where that logic fails? How is it that one player who went to a super team can still be the best, but another player does it, and it's totally different? He can't be the best. And keep in mind, LeBron formed that super team. He brought Bosh with him so that they can dominate. and yet he was still considered the best player in the world while on that team. So, yeah, I don't want to hear that excuse. All right, I'm going to end this video in 6 minutes. I basically said everything that I wanted to say because, them Cavs, boy, sorry-ass motherfuckers. So sorry. God, they're awful. Even if they make it to the finals, I'll tell you right now, whoever they play in the finals, they're going to get swept. They will not be able to handle the Rockets, OKC, or the Warriors. They will be swept right off their feet. And LeBron will get another L in his legacy. He'll go to 3-6. And everyone's going to be like, well, you know, his team wasn't the best. He was the clear underdog, okay? This doesn't tarnish his legacy at all. I'm sorry, but when you go to the finals 9 times, and in all those 9 times, you only won a third. I don't think so. I don't think so. You have removed yourself from the conversation. Who do you want to win this year? I mean, I'm a big Golden State fan. So, in fact, I might do a video on this channel maybe next week talking about how Steph Curry made me fall in love with basketball all over again. It's because of him and his play and the story of him coming into the NBA that actually made me fall in love with the game again. To see this guy rise to the top when a lot of people were just writing him off, saying that he won't be anything impressive. Like, that guy was an inspiration to me. I loved I love his career, you know? And those writing him off saying that his performances in the finals weren't all that good. In 2015, his performance was great, in my opinion. Not the best, but it was great. And keep in mind, it was his first finals. You know, it was a new experience for him. So in 2016, yeah, they blew the 3-1 lead. But keep in mind, Steph Curry was injured for that finals. Now, I hate to give him that excuse, but it's the truth. He wasn't at peak condition to face off against the Cavaliers. Not to mention that they lost Bogut and they lost Draymond Green. They lost their rim protector and the heart of their team. Had Draymond Green not been suspended for Game 5, like everybody else has been saying, they probably would have won. I don't know for sure, but it seems likely. And then they lost Bogut, their rim protector. And since there's no rim protector, who's going to stop LeBron from going straight to the rim? Nobody. You really need to upgrade your Tony Talks profile picture. I'm working on one right now, so don't worry, it's coming. So how come Curry isn't the best in your opinion? I would love to say that Curry is the best player in the world. My only problem is that he's not an all-around player. He's a great shooter. He's the best shooter in the history of the NBA, and no one's going to take that away from him. But when you look at who's the best player in the world, you have to see it on all categories. Offense, defense, impact to the game, performances, and overall appeal. And I feel like with all of those, Kevin Durant checks all 5 of them. His offense is on point. He's one of the best offensive scorers in league history. His defense has gotten better since he's gone to the Golden State Warriors. His impact on the game is second to none. He led Golden State to that championship. He earned his finals MVP. He was the best performer in that finals, and he was hungry. He wanted that ring. He wanted that win. And his performance, like I said about his defense and his offense, is spectacular. Even in losing games, he plays spectacularly. So, yeah, that's why I say Durant is the best player in the world right now. So, you got to admit, Curry disappears at the finals sometimes. Not last year, he didn't. He showed up. He was healthy, he was mentally ready, and he was going to kick some ass. And he showed it Game 1, Game 2, he put the pedal to the metal, and he showed everybody what he was worth. And then Game 5, holy shit, he almost had a triple-double. So I don't want to hear anybody saying that he hasn't showed up at the finals. He did. Okay, well, I'm going to end the video here now. Where do you think LeBron will be taking his talents next? He's going to take his talents to his house. He's going to retire. And I hope he does, because I'm tired of hearing about LeBron. I want us to move on to other topics in the NBA. LeBron and his Cavaliers, they're old news and they're boring as hell. I don't want to hear about them anymore. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Cavs, get good, because you're sorry. I'll see you all later. Take care.